So if you have some spare money that you want to earn a bit more interest on, 3 to 4% more than what you get from most checking accounts, that's under 1%, while making sure that you don't lose the capital, then GICs, guaranteed investment certificates, could be a good idea for you. One of Questrade's advantages over other investment platforms is that you can buy GICs from various issuers on Questrade. Of course, you could buy your GIC directly from the issuer, for example, buy a Scotiabank GIC from a Scotiabank bank account, or an EQ Bank GIC from EQ Bank. The main benefit of buying your GICs on Questrade is that you can hold all of your investments, so your stocks, bonds, ETFs, and also GICs all on one platform rather than with different institutions, which gives you a good overview of all of your investments. And super important, when you open a self-directed investing account with Questrade, you don't need to pay any commissions for trading stocks or ETFs. And you can also get a $50 bonus if you open your account on Questrade using my referral link down below in the descriptions. Just click on that affiliate link and open your account. It only takes a few minutes. Alternatively, you can also use my special code living in Canada to get that $50 bonus. Note that you have to open a self-directed account and fund it with at least $250. An important note, guys, if you're okay holding your GIC for a longer term, or if you're saving up for your home down payment, then buying it in an RRSP or FHSA is fine. And if you plan to withdraw it pretty soon for a purchase like a vacation or a wedding, then the TFSA will offer more flexibility. Note, I'm just sharing my experiences, and this is not financial or tax advice, guys. Also, if you need more help on how to open an account on Questrade, you can join me in this video later. Now, in this video, we're going to focus on GICs. I'll show you step by step how to access the GIC product list, how to choose a GIC, and how to buy GICs on Questrade. Note, guys, the interest rate in this video are based on the time of recording this in August, so rates may have changed. And stick with me to the end, guys, because I'll share with you some mistakes I made when investing in GICs, which caused me to lose a lot of money, and I'll share some tips with you for how you can avoid the same mistakes. So let's dive in. Step 1 is to access the GIC product list. Once you set up your Questrade account, head to the product tab in the bar up here. Note, I'm in the desktop version, and I would recommend using this for better viewing. So here you'll find the broad product categories: fixed income, mutual funds, FX, and so on. To find GICs, we want to click on fixed income. And voila, here you'll find all the GICs Questrade has to offer. Note that although you can buy the GICs on Questrade, the GICs themselves are actually issued by different financial institutions. So Questrade here is the broker. But don't worry, you won't have to pay any additional trading fee here. Now, first things first, note the buying hours on the right here. You can only buy GICs from Monday to Friday and only from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Now to the GIC list. Here you see that the GICs are split into two categories. First, GICs with a term of 30 to 270 days, and next to it, longer terms of 1 to 5 years. Normally, though not always, GICs with longer term will get you a higher interest rate than GICs with a shorter term. Look at it this way. When you lock up your money for longer, the bank can use it for longer as well, so they pay you extra as a thank you for waiting. Now let's take a quick look at the shorter term GICs. You'll see at first glance that the interest is not that high. This is just my personal opinion, but I don't think it's worth investing in GICs if you only get 1 to 2% interest for less than a year. You might as well just put your money into a high interest savings account or HISA where you have more flexibility. For example, with EQ Bank, you can get up to 3.5% interest by depositing your paycheck into their personal account. Of course, with HISAs, the rate is not locked in, so the rate could drop to 3 or 2.5% in half a year. Whereas with GICs, you're locking in the rate for a specific time. In any case, if you're interested in checking out EQ Bank's high interest savings account, there's also an affiliate link in the descriptions. So back to our GICs. Personally, I only buy GICs that are between 1 to 5 years. If we click on this and scroll down, you'll see that on Questrade you can buy 165 different GICs. So how are they different? Each of these GICs are issued by a different financial institution. They have different interest rates, different terms. Some are redeemable or cashable, and some are not. So here's the difference. Cashable or redeemable GICs, these are GICs that allow for early withdrawal of the funds before the maturity date without incurring any penalties. Whereas with non-cashable or non-redeemable GICs, here your funds are locked in for the entire term and the issuer doesn't permit withdrawals before the maturity date. So carefully think about the amount of money you can keep keep invested and the term, so you can avoid those penalties. I'm not really a fan of redeemable GICs just because the interest rates are considerably lower. With a redeemable GIC, the financial institutions gives you the flexibility to withdraw your money at any time, but in return, they'll pay you less. Vice versa, with a non-redeemable GIC, the financial institution has more certainty that it can hold on to your money, and in return for that, they pay you more interest. Other things that differentiate GICs are compound frequency, so whether your interest is compounded each year or not. Then there's a payment frequency, whether you get your interest at the end of each year or all at once at the end of the term. Lastly, there's also the minimum investment amount, and on Questrade, it's $5,000 for most GICs, although some GICs have higher minimums. So these are all things that you want to consider based on what you need. Now, how to choose a suitable GIC for yourself. And by the way, guys, let me know in the comments below, have you invested in GICs before, or is this your first time? Step 2. How to choose a GIC. So choosing a GIC really depends on what you need. Let's just say your priority is time. You want your money to grow a bit, but make sure that you don't lose any of it. This is, by the way, a risk when you invest in stocks. So let's just say you want to put it into a GIC for a year because you want to use that money in a year from now. In that case, let's just look at the term column here. Right at the top, we have a GIC issued by Community Trust for a term of 1 year, and it pays 3.44% per annum, that's per year. This happens to be one of the highest GIC rates for one-term GICs at the moment. This GIC is non-redeemable, so you'll just hold it for 1 year. Not that long of a time. And now let's look at the compounding frequency. Here it says annually. This means if you invest $5,000 the first year, at the end of the year, the interest you earn would get added to that $5,000 and you'll also earn interest on that. But here it's irrelevant since the term is only 1 year. So under payment frequency, it says at maturity. That means that after 1 year, you'll get your $5,000 back plus the 3.44% interest you've earned. Now let's say that 3.44% is not good enough for you and you want to pick the GIC with the highest interest. Let's scroll down further and we'll find EQ Bank and Haven Tree here, each offering a 3.81% interest rate. But you would need to keep the money invested for 5 years. There is no 1 year option at this interest rate. So like I said, usually, though not always, a longer term will get you a higher interest rate. For both EQ Bank and Haven Tree, you'll have options of annual compounding and no compounding. So let's say you invest $10,000 in the Haven Tree Bank GIC. At the end of year 1, you get 3.81% interest, and that money gets added to your $10,000. In the next year, you'll earn interest on that entire amount. At maturity, so after the 5-year term, you will get back your $10,000 plus 5 years worth of compounded interest. So is buying a GIC with a 5-year term at this rate a good idea or not? Here's a consideration to make. Do you think interest rates will go up or down in the next few years? If you think interest rates will go down, then locking in this interest rate of 3.81% for 5 years could be an advantage. If in 3 years the prevailing interest rate is only 2%, then you'll win. But if you think that interest rates are likely to stay the same or even go up a bit, then think carefully if you want to or are able to lock yourself in for this long. Okay, here we have more options. The General Bank of Canada offers 3.54% for a term of 2 years. The interest is not compounded though, and instead paid out every year. There's also EQ Bank again, offering 3.51% with options of annual compounding and no compounding. Personally, for 2-year terms, I prefer compounding because the interest is not that much and worth withdrawing, but by letting it compound, at least I get a bit more growth at the end. For both these GICs, the investment minimum is $5,000. And reminder again, guys, if you're particularly interested in EQ Bank's GIC, you can also buy your GIC on EQ Bank's app. The minimum over there is much lower, but you'll have to go through the hassle of opening another account. So it's only worth doing if you want to use EQ Bank anyway. The link is in the descriptions below. And by the way, guys, note that all links here are affiliate links and I may earn a small commission if you open an account with either of them. So far, is this video helping you to understand GIC investing better? If so, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to learn more about GICs, you can also join me in this video here where I break down how GICs actually work and how to make the most of them. Now, next, I'll show you how to buy your GICs on Questrade. It's super easy. Let's say you decided for Haven Tree's GIC with the highest interest rate of 3.81% and you're okay with a term of 5 years. And you've chosen this one with annual compounding and payment at maturity. Just click on the buy button, then this GIC purchase request will pop up and show you all the details before you confirm. The term, 5 years, start date, here August 12, 2025, and end date plus 5 years. Rate is 3.81%. It's non-redeemable, so you'll need to hold it until maturity. So basically invest it and forget it for the time being. Compounding annually, payment at maturity, minimum deposit $5,000. Next, select the account you want to buy the GIC in, so either non-registered or registered accounts like the TFSA, RSP, or FHSA if you have one. When you click on the drop down here, it will show you how much money you have in each account. So make sure you have enough money because otherwise your purchase will be rejected. Now let's say you want to buy your GIC in your TFSA. Click on that. Below, enter the purchase amount. Let's say you want to stick with a minimum of $5,000. Here it says again that there are no fees charged to you. Scroll down and confirm that you consent to the T&Cs. If you do, and you're almost done. Next, hit send request and your GIC will be processed. If you purchase your GIC today, it will show up in your account the next business day. So when do you receive your interest? You'll receive the full interest and principal amount after the maturity date within 3 to 5 business days automatically, and the money will be deposited in the account where you originally held the GIC. So in this example, your TFSA. Also note that there is no auto renewal, meaning GICs are not automatically renewed at the end of their term. So if you want to reinvest your money, you would need to buy another GIC then. Now that that's done, what's the mistake that I did with GICs that you need to avoid? Early in my career, after saving up about $50,000, I invested most of it into GICs. And yes, I earned some nice interest, but with one-digit interest rates, it did nothing to beat inflation, and it didn't grow my wealth significantly in any way. In hindsight, I was playing it too safe, especially considering that I was in my mid-20s at the time. I don't give out financial advice, but this is the advice that I would give myself, my younger self. GICs or other savings checkings accounts that only earn a couple percentages of interest can be a useful tool in your portfolio. You'll preserve your capital while earning a bit of interest. But the thing is that it won't beat real inflation and doesn't grow your wealth. So minimize the amount you invest into a GIC. If you had a ship, GICs will keep your ship stable when the waters, so the stock market gets rough, but it won't make you sail faster. So don't just think about the safety of GICs, but also consider the opportunity cost. Any money you invest into a GIC, you won't be able to invest into another higher yielding asset. Knowing that now, I only keep a very small amount of my money in GICs, not more than $10,000. That gives me the assurance that I have a chunk of money that will not disappear regardless of the stock market. Another portion I simply put into HISAs or high interest savings accounts. With HISAs, you have more flexibility using it because you're not locked in and can take out the money at any time. But as I said earlier, precisely because you're not locked in, HISA rates can change and drop at any time. So with HISAs, you have flexibility, while with GICs, you have certainty. So consider carefully what portfolio mix you want to have, how much you want to put into HISAs, how much into GICs, and how much into other investments that will actually grow your wealth. Watch this video next if you want to find out more about the highest paying HISAs in Canada and how they work.